speaking of narratives and narrative building, movies have played a big role. And so, speaking of movies, Netflix, Bollywood, Woke, all of that. That's one end of the spectrum. And then you have movies like Pushpa and Bahubali and RRR, which are suddenly like breaking all records. What's interesting is they're doing so not just in the South, but in the Hindi-speaking belt. So what gives? What's happening here?
I think what has happened, there's a trade analyst, Taran Adarsh, he made a very interesting point in one of his interviews. He was asked the same question. And he said, what happened with Bollywood is that Bollywood basically became as big as it did by catering to the mass market, by catering to the small town market. And then when it became massive, it started thinking that we're now too good for the mass market. We're too intellectual for those small town idiots, So we're not going to cater to the small town idiots anymore. We're going to cater to the intellectuals that live in South Delhi and South Bombay. And we're going to basically make movies that they can relate to.
Right.
There's a movie trailer that came out recently called The Archies.
Archies, I just saw that. Yes, I saw
exactly. And it's about a bunch of rich kids in the 60s. Yes. Where nobody in India bloody dressed like that or had parties. I don't know. Maybe they did, but
no, they did not.
I think it's a safe bet to say that a vast majority of Indians will not be able to relate to that film, as opposed to a film like RRR, as opposed to a film like Pushpa, as opposed to a film like Bahubali, that directly speaks to that very same market that Bollywood has abandoned and left. And so the South films was like, "ठीक है, आपको नहीं cater करना उस market को, no worries. We will cater to that market. We will provide those paisa vasool films that you go watch, आप सीटी बजाइए, आप सीट पे खड़े होके dance कीजिए, you have a great time, and at the same time you don't feel like you're being talked down to or your culture is being attacked. Ulta, it's being celebrated." So the South is giving the Indian audience, the mainstream Indian audience, which is the small town audience, exactly what they've been wanting from Bollywood, but Bollywood now thinks
they're not being condescended upon.
Bollywood now thinks it's too good for that market.
Correct.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.